Ms. McClellan, are you aware that Volkswagen was charged with 60 counts of breaching the the Canadian Environmental Protection Act?
I have vague awareness of that just from the media. I was not involved in that case.
Okay. Well, under those charges, Volkswagen essentially lied to the government of Canada about the emissions that their cars were producing. They installed what are called defeat devices in approximately 130,000 diesel vehicles imported into Canada. The government of Canada has now embarked on a new agreement with Volkswagen. Despite an order from this committee in the Parliament of Canada, the Department of Industry is in breach of that parliamentary order to provide us with a copy of that contract. Essentially, they lied to this committee that they would do so. And we are now without information about how much money the government of Canada has given Volkswagen. That said, are you aware of any other car company that has breached the Environmental Protection Act in Canada?
No, I'm not in a position to comment on that for this committee. It's not something I looked into to prepare for tonight.
Do you think it's ironic that one of the only, if the only company in the history of Canada to lie to Canadians about emission standards within the last 7 years is going to receive billions of dollars from Canadian taxpayers to protect the environment after they were fined $190 million for breaching Canadian laws in an unprecedented fashion?
Yes, Mr. Gahir.
So just two points, I guess. One is that we passed the motion on Monday, and we said we sort of agreed on a week's timeline. Secondly, I want to ask Mr. Viss about the relevance of this line of questioning, because the study is obviously on electronics, metals, and plastics recycling, and I do think his line of questioning is off topic.
I'll let Mr. Viss pursue with his line of questioning. However, I will note that Mr. Viss, to pretend that the government has lied when all parties agreed 2 days ago to ask for these documents, I think it's a little rich.
No,
but I'll let you pursue.
I wasn't referring to that motion. I was referring to the order put forward by the committee, Mr. Chair. The first time. That order still stands. We didn't negate that order.
I'm confident that in due time the documents will be produced as the committee has requested no later than 2 days ago. But I take your point of order, Mr. Gahir. Mr. Viss, I'll let you pursue because I think we're fairly liberal in how we interpret the text of this motion. So you can pursue your line of questioning.
The point is, Mr. Chair, and I'll just respond to the point of order before I go back onto my questions, is that it is rich that the government of Canada charged Volkswagen with 60 breaches of breaking the law, charged them $190 million. Now they're giving them billions and billions of dollars to fight climate change when they were criminally prosecuted under the Canadian Environmental Protection Act. So as it relates to this study, to Mr. Gahir's point of order, what is important, Mr. Chair, to note is that if we are going to operate in a circular economy, if we are going to develop critical minerals, and if we are going to put the trust of Canadian taxpayer dollars into a company with a horrible environmental record, we have to be asking the tough questions. I've owned a Volkswagen car. I love driving them. It's a great product. But they broke the law in a very serious way. The Americans charged them billions of dollars, Mr. Chair. So let me go back to my questioning, and I thank you for your judicious interpretation of the standing orders. But I know I'm in line with them as well in my line of questioning. And Mr. Gahir, I know you got a job to do, but I got a job to do too, and that's to stand up for Canadians and to stand up to make sure that taxpayer dollars are used effectively.
And Mr. Viss, you've asked me to